Brown in the City. This is Shantae.
And this is Letitia. And today we're going to talk about when dislike for the ex spills into innocent children. When dislike for the ex spills into innocent children. I feel like this is a topic that hasn't been talked about enough. A lot of kids suffer with this, where they are in a household and they constantly have to deal with unhealthy conversations that they hear because of their parent being with someone that dislikes their mother or their father. So we're going to speak on that today.
Have you ever been in a situation or been around a situation of a step-parent taking the frustration out on the children because they have a problem with the ex, which may be their mother or their father?
Unfortunately, I had to deal with things like that, where the parent is saying things that they shouldn't be saying to my children or around my children, that they constantly come back and tell me. So yeah, I definitely had to deal with that. Very unhealthy, very unfortunate, because obviously children, they have nothing to do with it, so they shouldn't have to deal with any drama that any adults have going on, that they are innocent. So they shouldn't have to deal with it. Hear about it, think about it. They shouldn't have to do none of that.
Absolutely. Me personally, I've never experienced that. For me, I just feel like in the beginning, when you are dealing with your ex and their new partner, I feel like you set boundaries in the beginning of what you're not going to tolerate, especially when it comes to your children, hearing things, seeing things. Because at the end of the day, for me, I raise my children differently, than other households. I keep my children away from toxicity, hearing toxicity. So I believe in the beginning, when you meet that new, person that's in your ex life, you have to literally set those boundaries in the beginning, so everyone can be on the same page and the children has a healthy relationship, especially when they're dealing with step parents.
So to me, I feel like it shows your maturity level.
Yes, it does.
Why do you think that step parents take their frustrations out on the kids instead of the adult that they have the issue with, the ex?
Listen, I feel like you being an adult, you have to grow up and be mature. The children has nothing to do with it. They are innocent. So to be that way and have that mindset, something's wrong with you. And that whole relationship needs to be reevaluated. And that is taking the step to talk to your ex about their new partner. Because that's not tolerated. You shouldn't, you're an adult. You're an adult.
It definitely shows the maturity level.
Absolutely.
Because, anybody that's mature, they know that a child has nothing to do with adult drama. So, any problem that I have with any adult, a child shouldn't even know that I have that problem. That should be something that if I feel like I want to go to that person and communicate how I feel with them, then that should just be between the two of us.
Right.
I don't think that a child has to know about that. You just putting children into adult conversations that they shouldn't be in. So it definitely shows your maturity level. And honestly, the actual parent that this person is with, whether it's the mother or the father, they have to, like you said, they have to create boundaries that's saying, okay, if you can't like have these conversations, or you can't have these conversations with just me and not with my kids being around, or not make my child feel like they're doing something wrong because you're mad at their mom or their dad. That can't be something that's ongoing. That's very unhealthy for a child to have to deal with. Yeah. So to be with someone that's constantly like saying something about your ex for whatever reason around your children, because granted, it's going to happen. If they want to say something about your ex, why don't say it to you? Yeah. The children shouldn't know nothing about it. They shouldn't feel like you're talking about their mom or their father and like that is okay. That's just not cool.
Yeah, that's definitely upsetting to the child. The child will never forget that. It causes tension not only in the other parent's household, but it causes major tension in their house, the other household as well. So yeah,
and
it's
no
just
parent
not
should
good.
have to hear your child come back and say, well, my dad girlfriend said this, or my mom boyfriend said this. Like, grow up, guys. Like, come on, grow up.
Yeah.
Like a kid shouldn't have to come back telling their parent what someone said.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Those conversations shouldn't be around them.
Or they could be so immature that they're intentionally saying it to them.
And that's called miserable.
Mhm.
Misery loves company. And a lot of times when people are unhappy, especially when the other person is happy, they're upset. So they tend to take that anger out on whatever they can. So whether it's the person's kids or whatever, they're going to do it. So you just got to be careful who you choose to be your partner. They shouldn't be talking about your ex.
Yeah.
And you as a person, you should never allow nobody to come in and have that kind of behavior around your kids. It shows a lot about you as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It definitely shows your character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's about setting boundaries with your new partner about what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept. But you have some parents that are immature as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're mad at their ex. They allowing their new partner to disrespect and say any and everything
and
as
honestly,
well.
that's where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
That's where it starts. Because a lot of times when the one person talks about their ex, it gives the other person fuel to feel like they can do it as well. Like, oh, I can talk about her too, or I can talk about him too. But not cool, especially around kids. Do what y'all want to do when y'all do it, but not around kids. That's real corny.
That definitely causes a major problem. You know, and like I said once again, that is something that a child should never have to be around. It goes into different areas depending on the severity of the situation. So be mature, be an adult, act like an adult, okay? And listen, at the end of the day, if you can't respect that child and, you know, meaning don't say things, don't do little smart things, then maybe you should take yourself out of the equation. Because maybe you can't handle being in a relationship dealing with your partner's children.
And it becomes
So
unfair because kids are put in this position and they're not able to say anything because they're kids. So they can't say, what? Don't talk about my dad or don't talk about my mom. They can't do that because they're going to get in trouble. So stop putting them in these awkward positions where they feel like, dang, I can't even speak up for my parent because I can't. I just can't do it. And they shouldn't have to go back saying that to them.
Or you have some children that do say, don't talk about my mom or dad.
And then they'll get in trouble.
You do have some kids that are
And then they'll get in trouble.
very verbal, you know, which they
Right.
shouldn't because they are a child. They should stay in a child's place, but they're only protecting their parent.
But you gotta look at that adult.
Yeah.
A child should stay in a child's place, but adults should stay in their place too.
Yeah.
When you're talking about stuff that is adult-like, then a kid shouldn't hear it.
Absolutely.
So stop talking about things like that around
Yeah.
kids, and you don't have to worry about it.
That's right. Totally agree.
Do you feel that the other parent or the step-parent treat the child more harshly when they dislike the parent or they have some kind of resentment towards the parent?
I think it's just they're just tolerating it. Certain parents just tolerate it because at the end of the day, if you have that type of mentality in you, it's already there. You know, it could be a jealousy of some sort of the ex or some type of intimidation or whatever. So they're just tolerating the children.
Like when they know that their man still wants you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I would say I do believe that when they don't like the ex, they treat the kids differently. They tolerate them, like you said. They tolerate them to a certain point. But when that ex come in, when it's something concerning that ex, they get treated differently. I don't even honestly know how people can even be with someone that treats their kids any kind of way that's not, I guess, healthy, where they feel like they're really taking care of their children emotionally, physically, mentally. If you're somebody like that, because I couldn't imagine being with someone that didn't treat my kids like I treat them. Like I want to be with someone, and I'm with someone that treats my kids as their own. And never make them feel like they're not his or make them feel like out of place. So if you're with someone like that, then you should really reconsider.
You need to reevaluate the relationship and let it go because at the end of the day, when you go into a relationship and you have children, would be on the same accord.
You just gotta look at the maturity
You
level
know?
too. I feel
Yeah.
like the maturity level is because sometimes when you're messing with a little kid, they don't know better.
Yeah,
So I
that
mean,
as well.
And when I
Yeah.
say a little kid, I mean a grown adult that's mentality is like a kid.
Yeah.
So,
And if they don't have children,
bingo,
if they're not a parent,
bingo,
they really don't understand.
they just tolerate their children.
They're just. So, do some step parents punish the kids just to get a reaction out of the ex?
Of course. Unfortunately, if they're immature, yes, they do. It's the only way they can get to them. The kids are attached to them, and especially if it's a parent that really loves their children, they're going to definitely do whatever that they can to affect that parent by doing whatever to their children, saying whatever to their children, treating their children in a manner that they know is not right. Anything to get a reaction. You might do that to the wrong parent because some people just don't play like that.
Yeah.
So, and then you got the parent that is mature enough to just be like, whatever, like, unless it's abuse, that's different because that's a different story.
Yeah. I just look at that as you're playing a harsh game when it comes to that. It shouldn't be that way in any way, shape, or form. And as far as, and I'm putting now, in that instance, I'm putting it on the parent. The parent. Because the parent knows better to allow the step parent to play these childish games.
Now, granted, it could be a situation where maybe if they correct the other parent, they may be doing it behind closed doors where the kids don't hear it. But I feel like whoever you're with shouldn't even feel comfortable doing it in the first place. If there's boundaries were set and you know how this person feel about their children, then it shouldn't have been anything that happened in the first place.
Yeah.
So obviously there's some communication that needs to be done between the two or whoever is amongst and have that mature conversation that kids should not be in the middle of nonsense. Kids have nothing to do with this, and it's sad because people will really try to go through your kids to hurt you or do anything that they know could get to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to turn the other cheek. I know that's the correct thing to do, but unfortunately everybody's not going to turn every cheek. So you just better be careful.
Depending on the circumstances.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody's not going to turn every cheek.
They're
so
not.
when you do stuff, you have to be careful because you just don't know how people are going to handle it. So be careful.
Absolutely. When the step parent says, "That's not my kid," should they even be in the role?
No. If there ever comes a time where you actually have to say that out your mouth, then you're not genuinely there for the reasons that you should be. That means you're tolerating these children, and that's it. To say that that's not my kid, even if you're thinking it, for it to actually come out your mouth, no, not acceptable. I wouldn't even deal with someone that said that once, because that's how you've been feeling. You've been feeling that way, and it's just coming out your mouth because you're mad. The truth is coming out.
Once again,
it's all toleration.
You're in a relationship and you're tolerating the children. So at the end of the day, when that step parent says that, you can't be around my kid. First of all, you can't be around me.
Yes.
Because how can I trust you to protect mine?
Yeah, I wouldn't trust them.
Or even if, they will protect the kids and be there for the kids and they're just mad at their significant other. And they say that. At the end of the day, it's not supposed to be said. You shouldn't do stuff like that.
To me, that's emotionally unstable. That
because,
means that as soon as you get mad, it's like...
Because they know that's a trigger. Once again, that's playing games. Children has nothing to do with that. So yeah, if you hear your significant other, your new partner, that's not my kid, then you need to reevaluate your relationship.
And all of this is learned behaviors, meaning that if they see stuff like this, then they may potentially, when they get older, think that this behavior is okay.
It's toxic.
It's not. And because it's a learned behavior, even though it's wrong, a lot of things that people do as adults is wrong, but they
Yeah.
were around that kind of energy, that kind of environment growing up, so it becomes the norm for them.
Yeah.
But it's not right.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, if it can't be a healthy environment for the children, then you need to sit back and reflect on if this relationship is even meaningful for you.
I'll tell you, a lot of times people are stuck in these relationships for the wrong reasons.
Yes, they do.
A lot of times they're using people, and they're there because they have to be there. They don't probably want to be there, but they're there. But is it really enough for your child to suffer? That's what you have to think about.
Absolutely. I so agree with that.
Your child's mental health. Can kids sense when they're being punished for adult drama? I believe they can now. I mean, they can go back and tell you, or they can go back and tell their parent whatever, but can they sense that they're being in the middle of drama? Yeah. I think it depends on their maturity level, their age, because sometimes when they're so young, they don't really know what's going on. But when they, I want to say about like maybe a little over 5, because I feel like before that everything is kind of innocent.
Yeah.
So they don't really know what's going on. They probably know something's not right, but they probably don't know that they're in the middle of drama, depending on their age. But when they get to a certain age, they know what it's hitting for. Kids pay attention. I think a lot of times even they are scared to even go talk about the parent to the other parent.
Yeah.
And that's bad, because anytime you can't go to your parent to talk about your other parent because you feel like there's going to be something said that you don't want to hear or negative, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
And something needs to change, because a kid should not have to go through that. They shouldn't have to go through not being able to talk about what mom did or what dad did, because they feel like that other parent is going to literally crucify them or say something so bad or so negative that they like, okay, I'm not even going to do this. I'm not even going to go there. I'm just not going to talk about it. It shouldn't be that. Your kids should always feel like they can come to you and talk to you about anything, whether it's the other parent or whatever it's about. You should never make them feel uncomfortable talking about anything, even if it's the other parent that you are not getting along with or they're not that fond of. You should want them to communicate with you so you know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I do think they can sense it.
Yeah, I think it's a no. They sense it. They sense it. You know your child. You know your child and how they feel and their gestures when they come back from their other parent's house, and you know you can see on their face, and you start asking questions. What's wrong? What happened? They might not even came out and said anything, but you can tell when they're being dropped off. You can tell that they were happy and excited, and or when they get through the door, you can tell that you know your kids.
Yeah.
You know your kids. So communication is definitely the key, especially if your child is in the midst of crossfire between the step parent and the parent. Definitely the parent need to take charge, step in, and communicate with their children, and figure out a way where their child will not be exposed to that. Okay, hot topic. Today's hot topic: Sean Combs got 50 months. 50
An
months.
additional 50 months. So I thought initially that he was going to get. So I thought the time that he already did, they was going to add that to the 50 months and just combine it. But it looks like he's getting an additional 50 months.
My thing is, when you do things do catch up to you. At the end of the day, I feel, he's getting what he's deserving to get. Like I said, you just can't walk around thinking that you can do any and everything you want and don't deal with the consequences that comes behind it. I wish that on no one. I wish jail on no one. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when you're an adult, you know what you should do and what you shouldn't be doing. Whether you're mistreating somebody, doing something harshly, like things come back in all different shapes and forms. So you can't walk around thinking that, hey, you got this. Listen, money, quote unquote, power, whatever the mindset is of that individual and it's whomever. Like, don't think that since you have all these things and you got connects and stuff like that, that things won't get bad. Things won't catch up to you. You know, it's unfortunate because his children have to suffer.
So I'm gonna say
You
this.
know.
So I'm gonna say this about it because I mean, obviously he did what he did, and he's getting the time. He's doing the time. There's a lot of people out here doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people need to tighten up. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people out here doing the same
right.
exact thing, but he got caught. Why?
Mhm.
Because me personally, I feel like he's a black man,
Mhm.
and because to me, if it was somebody white, they wouldn't have been this harsh. They would be more. They wouldn't be as bad.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, he did what he did. He's getting a time. People tighten up because if he got in trouble for it, if you're doing it, you better stop it now. Yeah,
That's right.
You better stop it
You
now.
can't just think you can do
Because
things.
because you know, because he had so much money, I think he thought that he was like untouchable.
Yeah.
Like he could just get away with the stuff that he did, and he found that to be untrue.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with that stuff, no matter who you are.
And my thing is, if you are a victim, talk and step up right then and there. Don't wait years later. My final thought is, when you get into a new relationship and you are a parent, just be communicative to that future step parent. Just set, certain boundaries. What you're going to accept, what you're not going to accept when it comes to disciplining your children, or just saying things, or doing things around your kids that that your kid's not accustomed to. You want to have a healthy environment for both sides. When it comes to a blended family, it needs to be about the children. It's not about the parent. If it is about the parent, or the parent to decide, be an adult and talk with the parent.
Mm-hmm.
Children should never be exposed to any toxicity when it's coming to their parents or anything beyond parents. Keep a healthy household.
Okay, so my final thought is, if a step-parent can separate their feelings from an ex or how they treat the children, then they should separate themselves from the relationship. It shows their own immaturity if they can't do that. If you can't play the role of a step-parent that is in a healthy relationship, then I think you should leave the role altogether.
Yes, I totally agree.
So that's our final thought. So do y'all like our hats? So we're more than likely soon will be having these hats available for everyone. We will have all different colors, and this is just a start. We're going to have other things, but this is the start. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
But yes, you see?
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching our episode. As
Yes,
always,
thank you.
please go follow us on our podcast page on Instagram. It's Brown in the City Podcast.
Yes, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Brown in the City.
See you guys soon.
Thank you.
Good night.